Hello fellow Nopets and Beat people. I'm George, the Gentleman Rocker, and welcome to the 10th episode of Modular Monday. In this series I want to show you my adventures into the modular world with all its side quests like synth DIY, building stuff, buying stuff, modules, jamming, and stuff I might not even think about right now. And in this episode, I want to take a look at a rig I built for my boutiques, which are not really modular, but they will be a part of my modular setup that I wanted to build a rig for, and that's what we're talking about. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about something else. If you're a regular viewer of my vlog and this series, you know that in my vlogs I talk about the smaller stuff I build, but I will put the two things together as a lot of the stuff overlaps, and I will do some really short tidbits about stuff I've built. Speaking of stuff I've built, you might remember these splitters. Yeah, I bought them a week or so ago, and they had this really nasty branding on them, so I made them into some googly eye aliens. And yeah, I don't only have one, I have a lot of them. So that's nice. And the other thing we will talk about really briefly is, you might know my C64 case for the 3 IRA EFX modules. And there's one EFX module that didn't have a case till now. So I bought a defect Super Nintendo, and yeah, I cut out a place for the last Eurorack module and spray painted it, and that's it. So the Demora will take its place here, and what I did here is, it's a really cheap guitar tuner, and if you open it up, there's a piezo inside, and if you solder a plug, I hope you can see that, a plug to the piezo, you can use that to tune your stuff like oscillators or anything like that. And as I have more than one oscillator that play different notes, it's really easy to have them out of tune, and this is a nice way for me to just plug in a long patch cable, tune the oscillator to the specific note I'm playing, and have it running. And as you can see, it swivels, it has a little battery inside, so it's really not dependent on any power besides the battery in it. So that's another addition to my case setup of this 8-bit style, 16-bit style, my use in case form, and the Gate Boy, which will be a gate sequencer built into a Game Boy, will be another part of that. But let's get back to the episode. So I'm really restructuring right now what of the hardware that I have I really want to use, and I will get rid of a lot of my boutiques, but 3 of them will always stay with me because they are this pinnacle of the music that I started to love. The first electronic music was this acid techno-ish, and it's the TR8, TR9 and the TB03, which are emulations or rebuilds of the TB303, the 808 and the 909. I started a project that's based around these 3 sounds, which is called the Church of 389, which we will come to later in this channel. But this is the first step. I've built a rig for that, for this setup, with the 303, 808 and 909 in it. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to do my own paint job. So I went to the boutique, the Facebook boutique users group, and I asked for any ideas for an unfinished, cheap setup that I could use to paint myself. And Mike from KV Gear told me that he has a new stand, which is called the B3 Captive. I guess I will put something in here. And he has done some test cuts for that. And he would have a package for me with the unfinished wood parts and everything I need to build it together for a cheaper price if I want to. I took this offer, and 2 weeks later I got the package. I got it, I spray painted it black, and that's what we look into. And I painted it, and I have filmed everything. So that's what you will be looking at next. So as you can see, I started painting it at home, outside. And my son did the camera work here. So it might be a little bit shaky, but that's okay. And what I forgot, and you will see that later on, there's a wood stick in the back that I didn't paint, but I will do this later. So let's go to the painting. So after having spray painted the wood black, I first painted the name of my new project on it, Church of 389. Then I added some symbols, triangles, double squares and triple triangles. And they are part of my Church of 389 mythology. And after that I painted lines that differ in color every 3 times. And the lines run around the symbols and the name. Then I added some deco to that later on to have the name pop out more. The other side I painted with a flash that comes from the sky, which will be part of the story behind my first EP or album. And I painted some clouds, and then I had to improvise as my paints in my pens got really low really quick. But I painted a city, and then with some white I added a little bit of atmosphere to it. So building the rig was really painless. I just needed to get an idea how to do it first, but after I worked that out, it worked fine. And the rig looks really dope with the 3 boutiques in it. As I said, I now just need to paint that wood stick in the back black too, because it really stands out. What's needed next is a powered USB hub that can power the 3 boutiques and be used to connect them to a PC to record it. And I will also get some shorter MIDI cables to sync them up inside this rig. This way the clock can be synced to my mini brute, and from that synced to my Eurorack system, and all should run in sync, which would be really nice. But let's hear some sounds. I will just plug this stuff together and jam a little bit. So thank you again for watching, and next week we'll talk about some modules I want to get in my Eurorack system, how I want to go further with it. It's right now I'm filming this and Super Boost starts today, but I have my Musik Kreativtage stuff next week, which means I'm not in the studio a whole week, so I have to record some stuff up front. So I will do my Super Boost recap and tell you what I want to get. Most of the stuff I had planned out before. There may be stuff announced. I don't know yet. And yeah, we'll talk about that and how I want to progress my setup, which should be interesting. Well, till then, I see you in the next one. Bye.